to turn now to a topic that is getting new attention right now because of the war in Ukraine, the plight of the refugees. An Oscar-nominated documentary from Denmark is using animation to share the struggles that they face. The movie's called Flee. The director is Jonas Poher Rasmussen. Tells the story of his friend's journey immigrating from Afghanistan as a teenager. The film has made Oscar history with 1, 2, 3 nominations for Best Documentary, thank you very much, Best Animated Feature, and Best International Film. You go, Jonas. In this clip, the refugee, his name is Amin, his mother and brother are about to embark on a dangerous boat trip across the Baltic Sea to Sweden.
کل ما دایی کشتی میریم؟
نه فکر میکنم.
اما جای کافی نیست؟ نمیتونیم.
باید جای باشه.
با در چی؟ با هیچ وجه راضی نمیشه در کشتی سفر کنه.
مجبور است. نمیتونه اینجا بمونه.
Вы должны находиться под палубой, когда мы поплывем, чтобы береговая охрана вас не заметила. Мы там все расчистили внутри лодки. Там полно места. До Швеции идти 2 дня. Все, поехали!
We are joined now by Flee's director. His name is Jonas Poher Rasmussen. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Really, it's so good. I have to confess, when I first heard, okay, documentary animation, I don't know, and then subtitles, I don't know. I'm telling you, it is so good. It's so well done. It's beautifully told. And after a while, you just forget that you're reading. That's how great the story was in your storytelling. So bravo to you. But take us to Amin, how you two met. You all were teenagers. How did you meet and what stood out to you about him?
But you know, I grew up in this very small rural Danish village, and one day on the train, he was there. And he was very, fashionably dressed, and people in that area didn't really care about fashion. So he stood out in the crowd right away, and I just thought to myself, man, that guy looks cool.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, and I wanted to know him.
But he didn't tell you about his life.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
We went up every morning at the bus stop going to high school. And I was, of course, curious about how and why he came. But he didn't want to talk about it. And that's 25 years ago now. And then he finally, 9 years ago, started to open up about his past.
Yeah.
And you decided to make the story animated. You could have done a traditional documentary. Talk to us about that decision and what it allowed you to do.
One thing was that he wanted to be anonymous because what you hear in the film is his real voice telling the story for the very first time, and it's not easy for him to talk about. So the fact that he could be anonymous and didn't have to be in the public eye with the story was really what enabled him to start to open up. But then it's also, because most of the story takes place in the past. So how do you make the past come back alive? And here animation was a really good tool to do that.
But it also, Jonas, sort of the audience sees this family's struggle to get money to safely travel to a new country while also evading law enforcement. And I just thought, wow, that is happening today, right now, as we speak. And it sort of really crystallized for me the struggle and the plight that people who just want a better life, what they have to go through to get that life. And we should just be a little bit more accommodating in understanding that.
Yeah, definitely. And in the beginning, this project is really born from the friendship and my curiosity about my friend. But then seeing what's going on now, I really hoped that because this story is told from the inside of our friendship, that I could give some nuance to these kind of refugee stories. So you could see that, yes, he's a refugee, but he's so much more. He also has hopes and dreams and ambitions like everyone else.
Yeah, and so we're hearing his regular voice, but in the animation, he's laying down. Was that a deliberate technique that you used?
It is. I have a background in radio, and when you do radio, of course, you don't have an image. So by having him lay down and close his eyes and talk present tense, it's really a way of making him be really descriptive, and you get the sense of presence in his way of talking in another way.
How are you processing that you're nominated for 3 Oscars from this story, that you're just telling a story about your friend? Did that surprise you? I mean, you didn't start out thinking, or maybe you did think, I'm going to go for an Oscar here.
No. It started out a conversation between me and him, just the two of us in my living room in Copenhagen, And then from there, it just grew and grew, and now it's almost a decade since we started, and to be here now and being nominated for 3 Academy Awards is just, it's unreal.
Can I just ask you about the technique, like the idea of making it an animated film, but there are scenes where you're using file footage from Afghanistan, which when the first time that happens, I thought, wow, this is so cool.
Yes.
Like, what made you decide?
I did too, Vlad.
Didn't you think the same thing?
Yes,
You saw
I did.
What made you decide to pick that route?
No, but I just wanted to make sure that people understood that this is a real story, that underneath the animation you have a real person and a real voice. To keep this authenticity, to have this archival footage in there to kind of remind people that this is a real story, and the reason why he had to flee is because of historical events that happened in the world we all belong to. So I wanted to have that throughout the film.
You also lay on the layer that he's gay, which was also a very difficult time for him because in his family, you didn't talk about it in Afghanistan, so he has to tell. Yeah, he had to tell that part of the story too. And there's some humor that you also use.
Yeah, but I think, again, to kind of show, the nuance of it, that he's a regular person who also falls in love, who also is attracted he's attracted to Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
There's these kind of light moments in the film, and it's so important to get that. So you see the nuance of it, and you see that refugees are not just refugees,
They're human beings, regular people.
We are all descendant from migrants,
Yeah.
if not migrants ourselves. I mean, it's funny how quickly we forget that.
Yeah.
We need a movie like this to remind us.
Yeah.
Bravo, well done, well done. I can't wait for the Academy Awards.
Cheering you on.
Cheering you on, big time. Jonas Poher Rasmussen, we thank you again. Flea is currently in select theaters, and you can watch it in the comfort of your home. It's streaming on Hulu. Very easy to find it.